So I was at the University of West Georgia about 3 weeks ago, halfway through July, and we were at FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, team football camp. And there was this gentleman that spoke to us that morning at our team chapel time, and his name was Scotty Madison. Now Scotty got up and what he wanted to talk to us about was he wanted to tell us about his son named Trent. And Trent, unfortunately in February of this year, overdosed on heroin. And so what he was telling us about Trent was, well, first he just told us how much he loved his son. He was telling us how much he missed him, and he was telling us how heartbroken he was about the fact that he was gone. And he told us everything he did the last weekend they were together. He told us how he felt as while he was preparing what he would say at his son's funeral. You know, it was so powerful. And to be honest with you, I'm 28 years old, all right? And this was the first time that I ever really respected the reality that my decisions hurt my parents. You know, guys, I could have been Scotty's son so many times. I should have been Scotty's son so many times. Can you guys relate? How many times should you have been Trent already? You could probably be Trent right now. You might have just woke up from a night and you know right now you're looking at this video and you're saying, oh my gosh, this video's for me because right now I should be Trent. I should be a dead child to my parents. And so what happened when Scotty shared this testimony, it just shook me so hard. It shook me so hard that I had to talk to him whenever he got off stage. So I started telling him, you know, this is what I realized when you were speaking. I realized what my parents would have said. I realized what my parents would have felt. I realized that my parents would have had to prepare to speak at my funeral. I realized what they would have done if I would have been dead. And then Scotty just, I say gentle, but slowly he told me, he said, well, this is what your parents would have done. And as he told me, he pulled this card out of his pocket. He said, if you would have died, what your parents would have done is they would have taken and cut a little picture of you and put it on a card and laminated that card and put it in their pocket. So every time they wanted to remember you, they could look at you on a card. And let me tell you, I started to weep because I realized how many times I could have been just a face on a card in my parents' pocket. Listen to me, people. You could be a face on a card. Your life is not guaranteed. You weren't guaranteed the moment you have, and you're not guaranteed the next moment. Stop wasting your moment on everything that's not important, because you could just be a face on a card. You know, I made a video that said, the what if question was, what if drugs were so good they were bad? Well, do you know why drugs are so good they're bad? Because drugs will make you a face on a card. And you don't want to be a face on a card in your parents' pocket. So I challenge you right now that if you're living a lifestyle that you know that it will get you to end up as a face on a card, then stop. Turn away from it, run away from it. Because you don't want to be a face on a card. You don't want to be a face on a card. So what if you were just a face on a card?